Hi everybody, this is the second lecture for week 3. I hope I can finish this topic 1, 2, 3 in 3 weeks. So and also and then I hope I can do something else. Okay, so the this subtopic is about static budgets versus flexible budgets. Okay, see here. Static budget is a budget for a particular level of activity, and the opposite of static budget is a flexible budget. It is a budget that provides a firm or a business with the capacity to compute expected costs for a range of activity. So it is like this. If you have a business and then you want to make a static budget, then you prepare a budget with a fixed amount for every item in the budget. Let's say you prepare a manufacturing budget for your business. If you use a static budget approach, then you will set next month this is the budget for direct material. Maybe for example 20,000, and then this is the budget for direct labor. Let's say $30,000, and then this is the budget for overhead. Let's say $40,000, and it is fixed. Next month when the new month is started, then you just do the production activities, and at the end of the month you compare the actual cost versus the budgeted cost. That is a static budget. But a flexible budget is like this. You want to prepare, let's say you have a business, you want to prepare for a budget next month. If you use the flexible budget approach, you divide the items in the budget into two categories: variable cost, and another category is fixed cost. The variable cost will change according to the unit of production or production activities. The fixed component is fixed. So your budgeted cost, when you use the flexible budget approach, your budgeted cost will change according to production quantity or production activities. I don't have the example for static budget in this slide, but you can look in the e-textbook or in other sources for examples of static budget, and you can compare with the flexible budget. You can see the difference. Static budget is fixed. Flexible budget will change according to production quantity or production activities. Okay, most of the time, it is said that flexible budget is better than static budget. The flexible budget is better. The main reason is because the budget will change. The budgeted amount or the total budget amount will change according to the quantity or the activity in the production. Okay, let's see. We focus on the flexible budget. The flexible budget, the point number 1 in this slide, the flexible budget can be used to prepare the budget before the fact for the expected level of activity. It means that if you have a business, you want to use a flexible budget approach or format, you can prepare the budget before you have expectation about the quantity of production or the activity of production in the next budgeted period. You can prepare the basic budget first, and then after you decide about the expected production or quantity or activities, then you can manipulate the number and prepare a budget, a real budget for the next budgeted period. Flexible budget can be used to compute what costs should have been for the actual level of activity. So like I said earlier, you will see later in the example, the budgeted amount will change according to the actual production or activity of production. Number 3, flexible budgeting can help managers deal with uncertainty by allowing them to see the expected outcomes for a range of activities. So if you prepare a static budget, like I said earlier, the number is fixed. It will not change, even though the quantity of production or or activity of production change unexpectedly. Let's say, like for example, you prepare a static budget, and you predict that next month the total cost is $80,000 for your business. But suddenly, something happened. Like now we have COVID. Suddenly, everybody has to stay at home, and your business having something unexpected, something unexpected. So when there is something, when everybody has to stay at home, you cannot sell your product, and also you cannot produce as much as the normal time. So at the end of next month, for example, at the end of the next budgeted period, when you compare the actual data and the budgeted data, then the comparison is not a good comparison, because when you prepare the budget, you expect everything is normal, but when actually the thing that happened is everybody has to stay at home, some people has to work at home, the customer also cannot go out, so the comparison is not a good comparison. The budgeted amount is supposed to be for normal time, but the actual amount of revenue and cost is in the period of lockdown. People cannot go out. So then when you compare these two data, the comparison is not a good comparison. So but if you use a flexible budget, this problem does not happen. Like I said earlier, when you use the flexible budget, the budgeted number will change according to the actual production quantity and activity. So if the actual activity and productivity is low, the budgeted amount of cost and revenue also will become low. So when you compare the actual data and the budgeted data, the comparison is a good comparison. You can make good conclusion based on the comparison. Okay, let's see. You will see several examples of flexible budget. So see here, this is a flexible production budget. Okay, like I said earlier, when you prepare a flexible budget, the budget can be divided into two sections. The above section is for variable items, For example, here you can see direct material is a variable item, direct labor also variable, variable overhead also a variable item in the budget. A variable item means the item will change according to production activity or production quantity. And then in the second section, the second half of the budget that you can see in the second half of the budget, this section contains fixed item. Here the fixed items are supervision and depreciation. So supervision is fixed. For most factories, the salary of the supervisor are fixed. No matter how many production unit produced by the factory, the supervisor has to work, and the same amount of salary has to be paid. So it is fixed. See here, in the column number 3 of the budget, you can see that there are 3 range of production. 1,000 unit production, 1,200 units of production, and 1,400 unit of production. So for the supervision and the depreciation also, you can see there, no matter how many units product will be produced, the supervision and depreciation costs are fixed. Depreciation is fixed, supervision is fixed. But for the direct material, it will change. The logic, I think everybody know can think about the logic. The more you produce a product, the more direct material and direct labor and variable overhead you need to use. Then this logic can be seen in the budget. In the column number 3, if the business produce 1,000 unit product, then the cost of direct material is 4,000. If the production unit is higher, like here 1,200 units of product, then the direct material cost, direct labor cost, and variable overhead cost will become higher, will increase. At 1,400 units of production, the cost will increase. There will be more increment in the cost. So you can see here in this slide, total variable cost at $1,000 of production, 1,000 unit of production, total variable cost is 5,800. For 1,200 unit of production, the total variable cost is 6,960, and for 1,400 unit of production, the variable cost is 8,120. So flexible budget, the good thing about flexible budget is the higher the activity of production or higher quantity of production, the budget number will become higher. The lower the production and production activity, the cost will become lower. So when you compare the actual number and the budgeted number, you make a good comparison. Let's say in the budgeted period, the actual production unit is 1,000 unit of production only. So you can compare the actual data, actual cost, and the budgeted cost at 1,000 unit of production. So you can make a good conclusion whether the business performing well or not performing well. So that is the good thing about production budget. Okay, just memorize the format of this budget. Just remember that always remember that this budget has 2 sections. At the top section, you have to show all the variable cost or variable component of the budget. And the second section, in the budget, you have to show the fixed cost or fixed component of the budget. Okay, so here is how to use the budget. When you want to use, when you have a budget, so the thing that you can do is you can use the budget to check the performance of the business or the department that uses the budget. So for example here, if the actual production is 1,200, then you compare the actual number of cost or actual dollar of cost or actual total cost with the budgeted cost at the production unit of 1,200 units. So you can check in the previous slide. Okay, you can see here for this sample performance report, the comparison is between the actual production of 1,200 unit and the budgeted cost for 1,200 unit of production. So this is a good comparison. You can see the direct material is unfavorable. Why unfavorable? Because the actual direct material cost is higher compared to the budgeted direct material cost. So the amount unfavorable is $30. For the direct labor, you can see there in this slide, the actual cost is 1,440. The budgeted cost is also 1,440. So there is no difference. So you cannot say the thing is unfavorable or favorable, because there is no difference. That is a good situation. The actual number is equal to the budgeted number. And then you can see the variable overhead, supplies 535, actual budgeted supplies is 540, so unfavorable by $5. Why unfavorable? Because the favorable by $5. Why? Because the actual cost is lower than the budgeted cost. Same goes to power. The actual dollar or the actual cost is less than the budgeted cost. So $10 favorable. In total, the variable cost is favorable. How much favorable? It is $15 favorable, because the actual total variable cost is less compared to the budgeted total variable cost. And then you also have to compare the fixed component or the fixed cost in the budget. You compare the actual fixed cost and the budgeted fixed cost. Okay, so in the previous slide, you have seen how to prepare the flexible budget, and in this slide you have seen how to prepare a performance report. To prepare a performance report, you have to show the actual cost data, and you have to show the budgeted cost data, and then you show the variance or the difference. When you show the variance or difference, you have also have to show whether the difference is favorable or unfavorable. Okay, these are several points related to behavior dimensions of budgeting. I'm not sure whether this is covered or included in the syllabus, in your syllabus. So I skip this one first. later uh, if if I found that this included in the syllabus, then I will explain later about this. But this one is this one is good. I think you have to know this. Okay, participative budgeting has 3 potential problems. So when a business prepare a budget, they can use two approaches. First, the budget can be prepared by the top level manager only. After they have prepared the budget, they will enforce the budget to everybody in the business. So that is one approach. The second approach is called participative budgeting preparation approach. So participative approach means the top managers will allow people in the business, including the lower level workers, to participate in the budget preparation process. So what do you think? If you have a business, which approach is better for you? Your budget is prepared by top level manager, or your budget is prepared by or you allow everybody to give ideas and input about their budget? So in general, the answer is participative budget is better in general, because when you allow people, everybody in the business to participate or to give input in the budget preparation process, you will hear many ideas and facts about the thing that happen in the business. So it is good. But sometimes, but it is difficult, because when you want to hear input from everybody, it takes time to prepare the budget. When you set a number for the budget, people from this department say something, and then other people will say something, and then you revise the budget, other people will give more input. So it takes time. If you use participative budget approach, the problem is most of the time it takes longer to prepare the budget. And then these other potential problems. One, setting standards that are either too high or too low. Sometimes when many people involved in the preparation of the budget or participate in the budget preparation process, they tend to influence the budget numbers. They ask for numbers that are too low. For example, when you prepare a sales budget, and then many people want to set the sales quantity a low sales quantity. Why? Because they want to make it easier for them to beat the budget. That is one potential problem. It can happen. Potential problem means it's a problem that can happen. Number two, building slack into the budget. So this one is also almost similar to the first point. Building slack into the budget means the people will try to make the budget easier to be beaten. They want to make budget that can be beaten easily. Why they want to make the budget like that? Because they know if they can beat the budget, the company will pay them bonus, etc. Because if you work in a business, if you can beat the budget or you perform better than budget, you will be rewarded. That's why people will try to make the budget easier for them. Number three, another potential problem that can happen is pseudo participation. Participation means the top level managers, they said to everybody, they use participative budget preparation approach. Means that they allow everybody to give ideas, to give facts, etc. But actually, they allow people to give ideas, but they they can uh, they can override the others' opinion. They can just they can just hear the ideas or take the ideas, but when they want to make the budget, they they enforce their own opinion or idea about everything. So pseudo participation means they say they use participative budget preparation approach, but they actually not. They uh, they just hear, but not necessarily they will take the idea as something serious for them. Okay, these are the three, and this one another one. These are the two, also another two approach related to the budget preparation process. Incremental approach and zero-based budgeting. Okay, what is incremental budgeting? Incremental budgeting means the budget process is concerned with the increment in operations or expenditure for the coming budget period. So if a business use the incremental budgeting approach, it means that the business always increase the operations target or the expenditure amount for the coming budget period. Okay, let's say this month they have budget for the direct material is 20,000. Next month they will increase the budget. The next month they will increase the budget with the logic that maybe the logic is the company size will become bigger in the future, or the company is assumed to have the ability to sell more in the future. So it is incremental budgeting, or everything always increase. Okay, there is one approach. If you have a business, you can use this approach. Every month, next month the budget will become higher. The next month it will become higher, with the logic that the company will become bigger and can sell more, etc. Okay, the second approach is called zero-based budgeting. Okay, zero-based budgeting is a budget preparation approach that requires all activities are justified and prioritized before decisions are taken relating to the amount of resources allocated to each activity. It means that if a business use zero-based budgeting approach, the operation and expenditure are not always increased. Every time a business want to prepare a new budget, they will justify and they will think about whether in the next budgeted period everything should increase or decrease. This is, I think, better, because if the economic outlook is good, then everything will supposed to increase. The sales will increase, the cost will also increase. But if the economic outlook is not good in the future, like now, the COVID-19 problem is still cannot be solved. So next year economy does not look very good. So a company, when they prepare budget, they can decrease everything, because next year it is not certain whether they can sell more. So they can prepare budget that is according to the economic outlook in the future. So if I think if we compare incremental budgeting approach and zero-based budgeting approach, I think the better one, we can say that the better one is zero-based budgeting approach is better, because every numbers every number in the budget, whether the number increase or decrease, should be justified before it is enforced to the people inside the business. So it is started from zero. It means that everything has to be justified, not just increase everything for the next accounting in the next budgeting period. Okay, this I think this is for your general knowledge, your additional knowledge. I don't think this thing covered in the syllabus, but just to let you know that activity-based budgeting exists. Some businesses use activity-based budgeting. Activity-based budgeting means when they prepare budget, they adopt some elements of activity-based costing. They prepare the budget by looking at the activities of production. In the previous slide, you have seen the budget is prepared by focusing on the type of cost and name of cost. But here, if a business use activity-based budgeting, then the business will prepare the budget by focusing on the activity of production. You can see here maintenance activity, machining activity, inspection activity, setups activity, and purchasing activities. Before, in the previous slide, the item of cost is like direct material, direct labor, supervision, depreciation. So that is the name of the cost. But here, activities of production. And then activity flexible budget. So like flexible budget is always like this. It has variable components and also fixed component. Okay, just look at the number. The format is same. Performance report is same. Even though this activity-based budget is developed based on the activities of production, when the business want to perform or do performance analysis or performance report, the format is still same. You have to compare the actual data and the budgeted data, and then in the third column, in the fourth column, you have to show the difference, and also you have to show whether the difference is favorable or unfavorable. Okay, see here, same. Okay, that's it. This is the end of topic number 3. You have seen that topic 1, topic 2, and topic 3, these 3 topics are related to budgeting. And then I have also told you that when you read the e-textbook, the chapter that is relevant for these 3 topics is topic 9 in the textbook. Okay, do not forget to write your name and metric number in the comment section. I will take it as your attendance for this lecture. Thank you very much.